What up, what up? All right, so in this video, I'm going to dive right into the quarterly theory 4-in-1 toolkit, how to use it, all the settings. I'm going to go through it today. My name is Jack with Avodah Trading. If you like this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's dive right in. So, as you can see right now, I'm on the hourly chart. And this is where I first do my higher time frame analysis. With the indicator, you'll be able to see major liquidity points, right? So, previous week high, previous month low, previous month highs way up here. And then within that, you can see either check your NWOGs and NDOGs or your PM low, which is that lowercase PM low, Asia low, London low, Asia high, PM high, and then London high once that's created. Um, so before I dive right in, let me just go a brief overview of the indicator. Once you click on the settings, there's four major parts to this indicator. It's like a four indicator in one. So first, there's the quarterly cycles, which is what we're looking at right here. In the quarterly cycles, well, let me just go over high level overview and then I'll dive deeper into each detail of it. So quarterly cycles, these true opens, or just, I call them stacked true opens because that's a little table down here. Well, you'll see the true opens, the liquidity sweeps, which are these liquidity points here, and then the NWOG and NDOG. So right now, I'm going to turn off the NWOG and NDOGs. I'm going to turn off all of these except for the quarterly cycles. So let's do that. And with the quarterly cycles, this is what it'll look like on the hourly. On the 4 hour, you can choose to see the cycles and the days on the hour on the 4 hour as well. And then anything above that, they don't show because this is really made for intraday traders, not really swing traders. So on the you won't see the weekly cycle per se on the or monthly cycle on the the quarters of the month or anything like that. It's really designed to be on the 1 hour or 4 hour and below. So just a note on that. But here you'll see, of course, the days of the week. And it goes about 2 weeks back, and you could do all sorts of settings here. So if I go dive into the settings, the quarterly cycles core, you can show the time frame on, let's say, 15 minutes or below. You can display the 6 hours. In each daily quarter, you can choose how you want to display it. So for the daily, I choose boxes for all of them, but you can have vertical lines if you wanted to. Like if I did vertical lines like that, it would choose these vertical line settings down here. And then for the 90-minute session, 90-minute cycles, I do boxes, and then the microcycles, I do boxes as well. So, and then when that in each in these three, the quarterly, the 6 hour, the 90-minute, and the micro 22.5-minute cycles, you can of course change all the settings. So these won't be seen unless you're in on the 15-minute or below time frame. So for example, this, you'll see that on the 15 minutes. Really want to drill into the 1 minute, you can see what that looks like. We're in Asia session, so obviously it's a lot of consolidation, but this is what that looks like. So the way I have it set is with my 6 hour, 90 minutes, my 6 hour session cycles, I have like a real low opacity, like a 3% opacity. I don't want to, I mean, I could put a border on it if I wanted to. This is what that would look like. Let that load. And it would put a border around, oh, I've got lines set, that's why. Vertical. If I do boxes, see it showed that line right there real vaguely. But if I do boxes, then the background will show as that big session cycle, and then I'll have a border around it. But anyways, you guys can play with that how you want to, but I have it as 0, whatever line style you want. And then the quarterly cycles, higher time frame, this is that 1 hour and above, how you want to view that. And so these lines will be the vertical lines, and then these will be the boxes. So that's how that works. And then, of course, you can show it on the hourly or the 4 hour. And that's how that, and then the labels on the days, that's pretty how that how that works. And so once we get into then you can customize all these things. So if you want to do vertical lines instead of boxes, so the 6 hour vertical lines, the vertical line colors, the label of the colors, the style of the lines, you can do all that type of stuff. So Now let's dive right into the true opens. So let's turn this off and go into the true opens. For the true opens, go to current day here. So these are all the true opens, the true month open, the true Asia open, true week, true day. This will stop, like for example, the true month open won't show until that second week of the month, and then it'll end uh, at the current month. So for the first week of next month, you won't see a true month open, obviously, right? Same with true year open. You don't see any plotting because April has not um, has not plotted yet, so that won't plot. But within the TMSO and True Day Open, all that good stuff, that is all going to plot right here. And then, of course, you can choose the style that you want it to be. Um, I have it listed as the intraday True Opens, and then I also included the higher time frame True Opens right here. And then I included the custom true opens. So if you want to, let's say, track the 9:30 open and the 8:30 open, you can put those in here, and that'll track as those. I've got some custom like nanocycle ones, like 9:53, 10:34, some other ones from a different strategy. But you could do those custom true opens as well, and those will plot as the time allows, and then it'll plot till um, midnight. Then after midnight, it'll reset and plot the next one. So that's how that'll work. And so, yeah, and then of course with the True Open dashboard, you can actually, if I wanted to, I could see all of the True Opens if I wanted to on this dashboard. So this is the control of the dashboard. You can have it as, I'm gonna make it large so you guys can see it there. But you can see, whoops, that's not the label size. Let's do tiny. I'm sorry, down here. This is large, so you can change the text size of the True Opens, the style, of course, and then the actual table, you can change the text size. I'm gonna do it large just so y'all can see it. But with this, what's cool is that you can stack them. So if you trade London, for example, then you can show the London True Open if you wanted to. Or if you trade Asia, you can show that London True Open. I'm sorry, the Asia True Open. So you can toggle these on and off. Or if you want to see, let's say I have this custom as a 9:30 and I want to track the New York equities open, then I can track that, right? Of course, right now it's not showing, but you could stack those if you wanted to and show whichever true opens that you want to see the probability uh, you know, of hunting for shorts or hunting for longs, depending on how many true opens you're below or above, right? So that's kind of the theory behind that. But that's the true open part of the indicator. And then if you go into the liquidity sweeps, move this up here so you can see it. Liquidity sweeps. So what I've added here is let me turn this off here. Liquidity sweeps. Um, what I've included here are higher time frame levels like the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, and with the label and all that. So you can change all the settings that you want on the style of the label, the text size, the color, and then for the actual sessions, you can change all those here. So this is I like to track when I'm looking on the hourly. I want to see um, you know, I want to actually see the label. So I want to see if it's Asia high or Asia low. So I leave the labels on, solid. And with these numbers here, you can see how many lines you want to see or how many lookbacks you want to see. So for example, at let's say 8:30, I'm looking at, and I want to see I want to keep track of just Asia and London open, London and Asia open. Then I only have two lines back because it'll track those two lines. Um, Hope that makes sense. So if I let's say if I had 3 or 4, then it would look at the previous session opens. So for example, once I do that, it'll show probably this session. Let's see here, it will. So now it showed the previous London session, right? Once I did that number, but I don't want to see that. Typically, so that's why I like to keep it at 2. When I wake up around 8:30, um, I like to just see Asia and London, see what they did and see if they've been swept. So once I turn them back down to 2, it'll take that off, right? So in the quarterlies here, I like to see about 3 or 4. What do I have here? So with quarterlies and these, the 90-minute and the 22.5-minute quarters, I don't want to see a label. I just want to be able to know based on the line style and maybe the color, what cycle or what liquidity pool it is. And so for this example, the 90-minute quarters, I have a color of orange and I have it as dashed. That way I know that those are my 90-minute liquidity pools and cycles. And then you can, again, change how many quarters you want to look back or how many, how many cycles you want to look back. So if I change it to 2, let that load, it'll erase these other 2 above. But I like to keep those as 4. So I can kind of see which liquidity pools are there. And then if I did want the label, I could, do that. And then it would actually say like 90-minute high, 90-minute low. But I just don't, that's just too much text on screen for me. So I just make it 0 transparency. And then same thing with the micro. So with the micro, I just like to see the previous micro high or low. And then I have that as a dotted line, and then that'll tell me that that's the micro cycle. That's the micro previous micro quarter. That has liquidity open. And then once it's swept, it'll just price will just run through it, so you know that it's swept. So um, yeah, that's how that looks. And then I just keep the look backs at max session look backs at 5 on all of them. And then the last thing is just the NWOG and dog indicator, pretty self-explanatory, but that's the last piece of the indicator. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. With this, it's nice because you can have this on all 3 indices, and if you don't have an SMT indicator, then you can see those liquidity lines, liquidity sweeps. I'm gonna put them all on there right now and track it that way. So and see which lines have been swept or which haven't, and then look at your SMT manually. But if you have an indicator like mine, then it's just a lot easier. So, anyways, just want to hopefully keep this as short as possible, but at least give you the meat to see what you want to see and how you want your charts to look, especially on the, for example, 1 hour and 1 minute time frame, so you can get your higher time frame bias and then drill down to the 1 minute to get your entry. So that's how that'll work. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the Discord or in the comments. And yeah, feel free to reach out. And that's it for now. So good luck at trading and God bless.